Orange Room here, Gregory Cockery. Greetings all. What in blazes, you might ask? This is a James Tyler Studio Elite. Literally just arrived in the mail about a half hour ago. I opened up the case, plugged it in. James Tyler Studio Elite in Ice Water. This is a proprietary, I don't know if proprietary is the word, but it's a Wildwood exclusive. And I don't know if you all heard it the other day when somebody asked me what I thought if I had to do sessions day in and day out and had to play anything from polka time to some kind of pop, to some fusion, to some funky stuff. And I needed Mr. Wiggles, and I wanted some Strat sounds. Hold on just a second. I'm going to pop that off. I'll have to get back to that fella. That was Mighty Eric Gales, if I'm making name drop there for you. Anyway, I'd said to James Tyler because they just, as I said, they come out of the case. I can grab Mr. Wiggles. And the intonation is just spot on. So doggone good. right in tune. Oh, it sounds so good. Let's take a little look-see on this bad boy. Get it up a little close and purse. A little close and purse, as I like to say. Oh, don't tell me that thing's not going to work now. I had this thing all set up. Oh, hang on, folks. Hang on, foo. There we go. You can see it's got a lot of skadoidling over here. It does have a locking Floyd on it, but man, I'm having no problems navigating it. Check out some of the stuff back here. This is a kill. I think this just goes right to the bridge pickup. So we go from. So if you got a little heat on and you're going, messing around with. And you want to go right to Mr. Bridge. From the neck pickup to the bridge pickup, lickety split. With this little switch right. It's still in tune. See how that goes? It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. Put a little double extra heat on it. Sounds good. Lots of knobberoonies. It's got this preamp on board too. So I press this button, this little knob down yonder here. Let me put that over. This little knob down yons allows me to put a preamp on, and I can set it to how much I want it to, how much gas I want it to have. And then when I press this button here, push. So much that fattens that up. Could be a lot of heat, but that's good for like slide stuff. You're cruising along. You want some heat. You want some meat. Can you dig it? This guitar is a roaring beast of the night. Am I right or am I right? It's a James Tyler, doggone it. Studio Elite. Literally arrived in the mail about a half hour ago. I unsheathed it from its covering and deployed it immediately. And as you can see, it's taken the heat. Wicked Spanish wine. Oh, drinking my Spanish wine. Let me just share this real quick over here on other portals of the internet. Portals of the internet, portals of the night, portals of the internet, ain't feeling quite right. Portals of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. A little song there for you. We recorded another podcast morsel earlier today with Jeff Garland, who's one hell of a dude. You've seen him on the Goldbergs. You've seen him on Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's a guitar enthusiast as well. He's a big Wildwood fan, and we had a nice little chat. So that'll be coming up soon on the old podcaster Rooney. Can you dig it? Do I watch Beavis and Butthead? It's been a while. So anyway, these guitars have literally all the bells and doggone whistles. Super Strata-Rooney. Thumb's pushing that string a little bit. There we go. Oh, you're loving the Satch conversation. That was really fun. So for those of you who aren't awares, we've got these series called Wildwood at Home, which are some interviews that we have done. They're video interviews. They come out in 5 parts, but you can hear the whole thing in its entirety on the podcast. So you can go over to the podcast. It was Chewing the Gristle, Greg Koch, Chewing the Gristle podcast, and you can hear the whole thing in its entirety. Can you dig it? You know, I don't know if Gibson ever made him that L5. That's a good question. The question was, did Gibson ever make Jeff Garland that L5? I don't know. We didn't talk about that. We talked about Telecasters. He's got a 53 Telecaster. We talked about his old 54 Les Paul as well. like it. Just found your podcast on Amazon Music too. Excellent. I like it. Danny Gat in Cherokee. I wish I knew the whole thing. I just let. Sorry, sometimes my brain stops. Ever jam with Guthrie Trapp? Yes, I have. Guthrie's a buddy. We've jammed on quite a few different occasions, and we shall do it again. He's a hell of a cat. He's a cool dude and a hell of a guitar player as well. Guthrie Trapp. This question is, Greg, did you ever play with someone you didn't like? Well, not that I'm willing to talk about. Not really. It's all been good. I was just talking to Josh Smith yesterday, as a matter of fact. We recorded recorded some tunes at Josh's place. We were going to finish the whole record out there, but then COVID had it, so we're going to have to wait. But Josh recorded on a song with me. Is that a steel nut on that Strat? Well, this is this got a Floyd Rose on it. So it's got a locking nut on it, which of course is not something I would gravitate to, but man, I'll tell you what, it's doing the job. And it does sound damn good. Question, what do you think about Gibson J45s? I love them. I don't have one, but I've wanted one for a long time. My buddy Carl has some old ones. And I've toyed with the idea of getting one of those, but I have not as of yet. But they're a great, really super versatile, great sounding, great recording guitar as well. It's a nice classy tone, isn't it? Someone wanted some Jimmy Bryant and Speedy West, so I just played a little bit of that for him. Just that neck pickup, I lived there all day. What is the neck like? It's a pretty beefy C-shaped neck. It's got some, I would equate it to like a 59 C shape that Fender has. To that 4 position. Is that a Taylor? It's a James Tyler guitar. Can you dig it? A James Tyler Studio Elite. Ice Water is the finish, and this is a Wildwood exclusive tone hue. Serial number of this particular guitar is 20144. They sent it out to me to investigate and play a little bit. I'm actually going to do an overview video at some point on this in the next couple of days, and we will post that proper to the website of Wildwood. But for now, I'm just having a little fun on this bad boy, showing y'all what it's all about. I do love these James Tylers. They sound excellent. Let's go to that 2 position. Auto split in position 2. Yes, Mark, there is, and there's also various different things going on here, but with this, there's 3 more toggles back here. Let me get this up here. Right here. We got all kinds of skullduggery going down. We got some skulldug. I gotta move this microphone around. God bless America. Son of a doggone gun. Son of a doggone gun. The damn bells and whistles on it, doggone it. Bells and whistles galore, ladies and gentlemen. Bells and whistles galore on this glorious weapon. Ryan is texting me. What is he saying? I updated description on the Wildwood channels. Oh, I can't edit the vids on your... Oh, I got you. All right. that doggone preamp on, and it almost blowed up. Sorry. Lost a little bit of what I like to call control right there, ladies and gents. Feel the power of rock. Again, this sucker right out of the damn box. Staying in tune pretty well considering the amount of farm animaling I'm doing on that doggone Mr. Wiggles bar. It's like a delicious candy bar. The Mr. Wiggles bar. Mr. Wiggles. Literally out of the box, folks. I got it in the mail. I unplugged it, or unpacked it and plugged it in to feel its bold powers. And doggone it, it sounds good. Wow. I like that. I like this guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Can you dig it? Again, this is a Wildwood sent me this guitar to peruse and to pummel. I'll be doing an overview video of this thing in the very near future that will be posted to the website and on YouTube and so on and so forth. But this particular weapon is a James Tyler Studio Elite HD in ice water. This is a Wildwood exclusive color, ladies and gentlemen. The ice water, delicious tone hue. I like it. No one sends me guitars, says Saul. That's all right, I have to send them back. They come, I play them, we do a little video ski, and I send them on their merry way to a happy home somewhere beyond the horizon. Oh, I almost grabbed the tuning peg. Did you see that? I forgot I had a little. This is the Floyd, so I got to do all my tuning down. Yeah, yes, I. Mm-hmm. Diddle 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 diddle. Strange chord. Someone wanted some Holdsworthy type stuff. I don't really know any Alan Holdsworth tunes, but I do know some of his chords. What's my favorite gauge of strings? 10 through 46 is what I use. Can you dig it? Patrick, you are a rascal. How many guitars have you demoed that you subsequently kept or bought? About 5 or 6, maybe. Are you and Jimmy Herring buddies? Something tells me that you two would slay together. Actually, we are pals. I've known Jimmy for quite some time. Every time he's in town with Widespread Panic, we go out and we feast like warriors of old. We've talked about doing something together. We'll figure out one of these years we'll do something before we're old and gray. Wait a minute. I mean, before, something. Sent you some specs in the chat. Lance from Wildwood here. Hey, Lance from Wildwood, you rascal. I'm wondering if I can see the specs in the chat from where I'm at, because I'm on Restream right now, Lance, so I can't necessarily see it. That's all right. You know what? When we do the Big Daddy, oh, here we go. It's nutty around there, says Lancey. I believe it. I believe that it is. Let's see what he says. Let's see. We got something in the chat. See if I can see some additional information. Well, I'm hearing myself talk. That's troubling. I don't want to hear myself talk. We'll figure it out, Lance. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. When I do the super duper overview, we'll make sure we get all the facts straight. For now, people can just behold the splendor and sounds and smells. Well, maybe not the smells, but the sights and sounds of this glorious James Tyler Wildwood exclusive Ice Water Studio Elite HD, serial number 20144. Wow. If you see Dan Zeidner at the PTA, tell him I say hi. I will do that, Mark. I will absolutely do that. Do I know Daryl Sturmer? I certainly do. He's an excellent gentleman. I miss being in Colorado, Lance. I miss you guys too. I love the quacky doggone 2 and 4 position on these guitars. This is the 4 position. Tyler does not do stainless frets, my friend. Thank you, Lance. Hope to see you soon in Denmark. Well, I hope to get to Denmark again before the end of time and civilization. Can you dig it? I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best for civilization. Come on, y'all. Hoping for the best for civilizat. Hoping for the best for civilization. What are your thoughts on stainless farts, Greg? You know, Mark, that's an excellent question. You've got stainless steel frets, stainless farts. I'm thinking that's a win-win. But again, what are you going to do? Stairway chicken picking. Stainless frets. Oh, and I see what you did there, Mark. You wanted to say frets, but you said farts, and we had a good time with it, didn't we? 'Cause I'm a child. Because I'm a child. And I like potty talk. Oh, sorry. You know, everyone does it. So diggity dog it. Easy on the pant cloth. Wow, this has really descended nicely. Stainless it's a C-neck on this one. Is it Donnie? Yeah, Donnie. Donnie, it's like a big C. It's like a 59C. neck to me. What was the question? Finland gig ever? I have played in Finland. I actually did a gig there with Tom Breckline on drums and the majestic Reggie Hamilton on bass. It was a Fender sanctioned gig, but we did it in Helsinki. I'm thinking that was 2009-ish, which is, needless to say, 11 doggone years ago. 11 years ago, I was in Finland, yeah. We need bloopers from the Orange Room. Well, we'll see what we can do on that. Paulie Brown, they want bloopers from the Orange Room. Bloopers from the Orange Room. Yada, 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 boga, digga, digga, doo. Wow, Fiddler in the Orange Room. Nothing worried about that. We may be onto something, Mark Knight. You are correct. What other questions do we have out there? It's question time, ladies and gentlemen, of our segment. I think I've played every sound that this creature had to offer, and I dug it. Yes, Koch Marshall Trio, actually on Saturday night. Saturday night, 5 p.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook pages. Toby will be here, Dylan, and we will engage in spirited musical activity. And away we will go, doggone it. Where's the best hot dog in Madison? You know, Rod, I'm not I've never spent a lot of time in Madison. And when I was younger, the time I spent there, I don't really remember. What? So I'm not really cued in as to what place to get a dog in Madtown. How would you recommend getting started with Travis picking? I always recommend, Willie, starting off with just kind of like the Mystery Train, you know. Start with that. Which is kind of it sounds cool, and it's the basic idea of Travis picking, because you're going to ding. And then I would work from there to doing something like Cannonball Rag, at least the initial chords, you know, like. It's a good one. Are your new beanies available anywhere? Not yet, Tom, but I am going to request that Denise make some of these hats because there has been desire. There's been some desire for the new hats, so we will make it happen. Folks, in case you do not know, at my website at gregkoch.com, there are hats galore, as well as T-shirts and, needless to say, all my instructional materials, some of which have the Travis material you're looking for. I do some of the Travis picking in the Hal Leonard Country Guitar Method that I wrote, but also in a book called Guitar Clues Operation Pentatonic. There are some rhythmic things in there that I lay out, and I do some Travis picking in there. Yeah, I think that's correct. Anyway, so all the things at gregkoch.com. Also, just special shout out, don't forget to subscribe to the old YouTube page, both Wildwood and my personal page. I'll be adding more and more material that you're only going to be able to get on my YouTube page in the future. So get ahead of the curve and belong to the fellowship that is my YouTube page. Can you dig it? Is there any particular Strat, cost aside, that you would like to own? Yes, Mark, I do have a hankering for a 50s Strat. I like an ash body and a maple neck, and I like 50s Strats, preferably a two-tone sunburst of some sort. We'll see what happens. My buddy Jim Lubad, who is our cat broker, as odd as that sounds, Jim is a guy that used to be roommates with my drummer Gary Kaler back in the day. We used to rehearse at the house, and we got to know him then. Then years passed, and he ended up being a breeder of the cats that we have, which are the oh my God, brain, work with me. What kind of cats do we have again? Bengal, thank you. Sarah, I just want you to know, that was my wife coming out. I heard one of my, I listen to a lot of different things when I'm walking on my walks. And I heard it was a spiritual teaching. And one of the things is that there are some people that have done some research. And when you start forgetting things when you get older, it's not a sign of a diminishment in capacity. It's actually a sign of enlightenment because you have gone beyond the point of caring about minute details. So they're Bengal cats, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for the shout out, Sarah. But I'm past remembering that. Wow. You know what? You can justify anything in this world, and that's why it's such a great place to be. Anyway, Jim Lubad, the cat broker, before I went sidetracking and wherever I went. See, I forgot that already, too. I'm getting enlightened by the moment. He has a 59 Strat that has it's a little bit more red in the burst with a maple neck, and he allows me to take that on extended sleepovers. So I think that might be making an appearance at some time in the not-too-distant future. Greg, very few people have a cat guy. I know, isn't that weird? Well, what happened was one day I'm extremely allergic to creatures, ladies and gentlemen. Dogs, cats, Sasquatch eye. I think that's the plural for Sasquatch, isn't it? Sasquatch eye? Maybe not. Very allergic. I get an asthma spasm. I start sneezing. It's not good. So I mentioned one time when the kids were younger, about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago or so, I guess now. Are any pets out there that I don't know about that are hyperallergenic, that are actually hyperallergenic? Because every time someone says it's a hyperallergenic dog, I get around it and I can't breathe. So someone mentioned Bengal cats. One thing led to another. Said, I know a guy. And then they mentioned his name. I go, I know that guy. And next thing you know, I had a cat guy. That's just that simple. The world is a crazy place. Who's Tyler? Asked Frank. This is from Wildwood Guitars. They sent me this guitar to peruse and to pummel, which I just did for the last hour-ish. No, they're not hairless cats. They just, for whatever reason, their hair is glorious. They don't really shed. And but for whatever reason, I don't react to them, which is glorious. Anyways, back to the guitar. It is a Studio Elite HD in ice water is the tone hue. And boy, it sounds magnificent. It's got really all the bells and whistles as far as electronics. And yeah, I've tried the poodles, Jeff. They don't work for me. I start sneezing. Rabbits, I almost die from. So where we used to rehearse, my buddy Gary at a house, and his wife had rabbits and all kinds of members of the animal community, all of which made me almost fatally ill. So it wasn't until the sweet cats came along that we were good to go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does your underground lair hold your 60,000 guitars? Russell, you are a rascal. You know what? I don't have all that many guitars. But, they come and they go, doggone it. Wildwood has been sending me some. Reverend has been sending me some guitars here, and then they're on their way to Wildwood. So I use them in these live streams, and then we're also going to do some additional content for the website and for Wildwood's website and for their YouTube channel. Obviously, with COVID-19, I have not been able to go out to Wildwood and shoot I usually go out there for 4 days a month. We shoot 20, 25 videos a day, usually, on individual guitars or individual serial number guitars so that you can hear as well as see what the guitar sounds like. And it's a very useful tool. It was just Jeff Garland was saying today, bless him, that he used it to great efficacy in choosing his guitars, and that was very nice to hear. So, can you dig it? Len says, my glamorous lab combo sends his best wishes for pet solidarity. I'm going to say that's cool. And a shout out back to your glorious beast. Give him a good steadfast, say, hey, puppers. That's what we like to call dogs. I go, look at that dog. I like dogs. They just make me extremely ill. And so wish your puppers the best from Koch residents. Are you allergic to ZZ Top's spinning fur-lined guitars? Richard, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that that's the kind of creature I can get down with and not feel any adverse effects from the ZZ Top creature guitar. But do I see 3 little toggle switches? Yes, and quite frankly, they're a mystery. There's some kind of coil tapping going on there and different filtering. But I'm going to wait until I get the full schematics when we do the overview video to talk to it. But I did mess around with it. Can you dig it? How do you record your amp when home? A 57, dummy load. I like these kind of talks, these kind of statements. David, we have I've got an M audio microphone in front of it, and it's, I've got it actually between the baffle. That's the thing we found that sounds best. So that's what I've been using, and it sounds good. I put a 57 in front of the Fishman acoustic amp, and that sounds good. But we found for the electric, it sounds best that I use this condenser mic from M Audio. In between it's like in between the 2 speakers, but it sounds good. Eddie, Leonat's thinking about pummeling a surrogate fiddle in the near future. Oh, am I thinking about it? They might send me one. You never know. Those guitars comes in and they come out. They roll in and they roll out. When will your Fluence P90 pickups be out, and how much will they cost? Well, I can't speak to the price, Jason, but I will say that they are sending me a guitar with the pickups in it. I think it's in transit as we speak. So once I sign off on those things, I believe the goal is to have them be done by January and they'll ship by February. That's what I think is happening. Okay. I'd love to do a podcast with Billy Gibbons. I'll have to throw out my net. See what happens. Can you dig it? Can and will you dig it? Someone said, shut up and play your guitar. I like that kind of talk. However, it is question time. So I played a lot earlier on. Now I respond to the people who have queries, and I respond in kind. Why? Because I'm a giver. Okay? What are the features of the Fluence P90s? Russell, I like this kind of a question. Well, we have 2 voices like we do with all the Fluence pickups. So we wanted the first voice to be just like a kind of a vintage P90. So in the neck position is just glassy but big and delicious. You can crawl inside of it. It sounds so glorious. And then the bridge pickups got that P90 quack, which I dig. P90's bridge pickups have a quack to them that I wanted to have at my disposal. So the second voice for each pickup is something a little meatier, and it's going to have a little more volume and a little bit more meat, more mid-range, maybe a little bit more a tinge low end as well. But there's another feature on them that there is I wanted to have an out-of-phase situation. And my favorite out-of-phase sound, ladies and gentlemen, is when you have the 2 pickups out of phase, but you kind of have the Peter Green wiring. So on a Gibson guitar and you got the 2 volumes, you're in that middle position, it's out of phase, and then you back off on any one of the volume controls, either the bridge pickup or the neck pickup, just a little bit, and it fattens the tone up. It's still got that kind of duck walky out of phase thing, but it's got a little bit more meat to it, and it's to me much more usable. So I wanted to be able to have access to that sound, because that's where I like to live when I do that out of phase thing. So you can set where you want that out of phase to be. So you can, if you want it to be that bridge pickup just a skosh back, I think we decided on a bridge pickup. Doesn't matter either pickup. So it's just a little off center from out of phase, so you get just a slightly fatter sound. That can be your preset. So when you do I think we decided on a push button, or the tone control is going to have a push-pull pot. And when you go up, you'll be out of phase in the middle position. And again, you can preset it to be where you want it in the grand scheme of things in terms of the being out of phase. If you want it totally out of phase, that's your prerogative. But as I said, I like it back just skosh. And so that's what it's going to be. So it's going to be cool. Will there be a Blucifer Blue? No, we've got You've been seeing me occasionally on these broadcasts with the prototype, which is we're calling a Tosa turquoise. It's delicious. And then I believe we're going to go with a black and a gold as well. Can you dig it? Yummy. I like that kind of talk. I'm looking at getting a Les Paul. Should I get a custom shop, R8, or a traditional? What are your thoughts? Jake, that is a hard one. I like the traditionals. They sound good. They play good. And also, Wildwood's doing the USA ones with nicer tops. Those are cool, too. But there's something, doggone it, there's something about one of those custom shop guitars, as much as I'd hate to say it, because let's put it this way. If you find a great traditional and it works well for you, don't worry about it. But if you played one back and forth against an R8, it would be, you'd notice a difference. Let's just put it that way. And maybe it wouldn't be enough a difference. You'd say, well, I don't think it's big enough a difference to spend the more money on. Or you may say, it's enough of a difference. But there is definitely a difference. So, and the good thing about an R8 is if you don't get one with a ridiculous top on it, it can be a little bit more cost effective. Or if you're going there and you want to go whole hog, let the good times roll. I have a tendency to like the R8s because for whatever reason, they seem to be, and there was some method behind the madness at some point, but they're a little bit less money than the 59s. And the neck's got a little bit more beef to it if they do more of a traditional 58 type of a neck profile. Can you dig it? What's for dinner tonight, Mark? That's a damn good question. I believe some chicken on the doggone grill is what we're having. Please, Foolish Mortals on tab, please. We will get on that, my friend. I have a book is coming out of tablature of a select group of tunes from my 17 records, I guess. It was kind of hard to narrow them down. But I tried to think of what tunes people requested the most, and I believe Foolish Mortals is on that list. So it's going to be a Hal Leonard publication. It will be in traditional notation as well as tablature. And that should be out relatively soon. I know they've been working on it. So Tylers aren't cheap. No, they aren't, Eddie. And I'm going to tell you, it's because it's a damn good guitar. And as much as I hate to say it, sometimes there are guitars that they pull out all the stops on with the creation, and they're a lot of money, and this is one of them. So it's crazy, but it's what it is. Only one thing to say about Tosa Turquoise. Wowza. Wawa. Oh, you're saying Wawa. I like it. I see what you did there. I like it. I'm all for it. Has the smoke from the wildfires invaded Wisconsin? A bit, yes. There has been some very red sunsets, let's put it that way. Who's your favorite king, Freddie, Albert, or BB, or Earl? I'd have to say it's BB and Albert for me. And Albert is my all-time favorite guitar player of those guys. Although BB, I probably do more BB. I do a lot of both BB-isms and not that I don't do some of the other guys as well, but I guess BB is my favorite artist of them, but Albert's my favorite guitar player of them. Can you dig it? Outside of Clapton's woman tone, what tone of Clapton's do you like best? My favorite Clapton tones are his blues breaker tone, which is diabolical. I do like his tone. The blues breaker tone is very similar to his tone on Fresh Cream, which has got a little bit more slice to it. Then his tone on Live Cream Volume 1 in particular is, especially like on Sleepy Time, that tone is just intoxicating. And then I love the Derek and the Dominoes tone, but I tell you what, one of my favorite Strat tones of old Eric was when he played on the London sessions of Howlin' Wolf. His tone on there is great. I don't know what little amp he was using, but damn, it's delightful. And because the record came out when I just started playing guitar and I listened to it so much, and as a matter of fact, I've yanked the CD out of retirement and I've been listening to it in the car. It's a Clapton record called Just One Night, a live record from 1980 with Albert Lee on guitar as well. And Clapton was playing clean for the most part through those Music Man amps. Sounds like he's got a little bit of a phaser on maybe, and I'll tell you what, it sounds fantastic. Yeah, and what Clapton done from the cradle, there's some great sounds there. I love, as much, I like the Clapton Strat's clean tones quite a bit. So when he's doing his clean tones on the Strat, I like it, especially like on the 24 Nights record. There's some great clean sounds. I that was my favorite version of him using his signature guitar, was when he was using the Soldanos. It just sounded so good. Big and juicy and succulent. There you go. Do you like Clarence White? I do indeed, and I recommend many individuals to if they want to get some chicken picking, bee bender ideas that never seem to end. From any live Bird stuff. There's a live from the Fillmore East from 1968. The Birds. It's fantastic. He just goes crazy. Who do you like for slide tone? Oh, well, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, Ry Cooner, Sonny Landreth, Dwayne Allman. Oh, man, that tone. What? Come on now. Doggone it. And, of course, Warren. And Derek, absolutely. But tone. The Ry Cooder tones. The Ry Cooder tone on Bring the Family, the John Hyatt record, diabolical. Okay? Just so we're honest. All right. Well, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. It's fun hanging with you. Again, stay tuned for, if you're interested in this guitar, you can certainly give old Lance a call from Wildwood. He'll give you the whole lowdown. Any of the guys at Wildwood take care, but Lance is kind of the man, the Tyler man. And Lance Bowser, who's an excellent, phenomenal guitar player as well, so you can give him a call. The serial number of this one is 20144. It's a Studio Elite HD in Icewater. So how do I say my last name? I say Koch. Herr Koch. I should have just said Cook. That's what it means in German. Would have saved me a lot of headaches. But no, I had to say it like Grandpa said it. So we say Koch, which is kind of the Americanized version. And every time you say Koch, people think you're saying something else. And it has become a lifelong affliction. But you know what? What are you going to do? There are other things in life that are more struggleful. Struggleful. Song called Struggleful. All right, folks. Thank you so much. We'll see you sooner than later. Bye now.